Welcome to my channel. I am Kristen Palmer, and today we will be looking at phrasal verbs and prepositional verbs. Stay tuned for a fun and exciting lesson. What are phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are phrases that indicate actions. They are generally used in spoken English and informal texts. Examples of such verbs include turn down, come across, and run into. To better understand phrasal verbs, it helps to organize them into two pairs, transitive and intransitive, separable and inseparable. A phrasal verb can only belong to one of each pair, although all separable phrasal verbs are transitive. Transitive phrasal verbs use a direct object, just like the normal transitive verbs. For example, Charlie couldn't put up with the meowing cat any longer. The transitive phrasal verb in that sentence would be put up with. Now, let's look at intransitive phrasal verbs. Likewise, intransitive phrasal verbs do not use an object. For example, the regional director was late, so the sales team went ahead without her. The intransitive phrasal verb in that sentence would be went ahead. Separable phrasal verbs. Now, with transitive phrasal verbs, you can sometimes put the direct object in between the words. For example, pick you up. There are, however, a few rules to follow with separable phrasal verbs, so pay close attention to our next video about word order. On the other hand, inseparable phrasal verbs cannot be split up and must be used together. For example, the wayward son carried on without his father. The inseparable phrasal verb, you have it right, would be carried on. Now that we've covered phrasal verbs, let us look at the prepositional verb. This is an idiomatic expression that combines a verb and a preposition to make a new verb with a distinct meaning. Now, some examples of prepositional verbs in English are care for, long for, apply for, approve of, and deal with, just to name a few. Let us look at this example for prepositional verbs. A statement made by Mahatma Gandhi, and he said, "I believe in equality for everyone, except reporters and photographers." This is such a funny statement, but let us focus on the prepositional verb in this sentence, and that would be, you guessed right, believe in. It is important to note that prepositional verbs consist of a transitive verb plus a preposition with which it is closely associated. Let us look at the example. He stared at the girl. The prepositional verb in this sentence would be stared at. Now, let us compare the use of a prepositional verb to a phrasal verb. While the meaning of a phrasal verb is often different to the original meaning of the main verb, the meaning of a prepositional verb is usually the same as the main verb. Phrasal verbs also use adverbs as well as prepositions, whereas prepositional verbs do not. Today, we learned about phrasal verbs and prepositional verbs. It was such an exciting lesson. Now, to keep working, click on the link in the bio below to go to our website for activities that will help you to further understand and master phrasal verbs and prepositional verbs. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content on these exciting topics in English.